Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Roll the intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand spanking new episode of. Whoa,
Spanking.
whoa, he's getting it now. You getting it now of Bitcade. This is episode 35. Is this 35?
I don't fucking know.
Dude, the days and the months and the years are blurring together with this garbage. And because of that, we are coming to you in audio form. You guys in each bit will actually get some different gameplay so that it's kind of a different situation going on of whatnot. We don't know what games we're going to pick, but you're seeing it right now. Yeah, so that's why there's no video of us, but we hope that, by the next Bitcade, we are back to you guys in our regular form. But for now, we're just in audio versions. Speaking of us, there's two of us. Ashton is joining me like always.
Uh-huh.
And he's very attentive to the situation. He's very aware of where he's at currently.
Look, man, I just got a 4-day stretch working at the hospital. I don't need your fucking shit. Hi, everybody.
And my name is Ryan Amore, and this is Bitcade. We are going to be talking about first, Xbox and PlayStation are at it again, and they're slowly revealing more and more to us, in
Yes.
more ways than one.
Got some interesting designer news
Yep.
for the Sony PlayStation controller.
What the heck? Hiccup and a burp?
I did. So
Hold on, we gotta figure out what we're gonna talk about in the next episodes too, so that the people watching this bit know what's happening in the next bits. Hold your horses there, Ashton. I know you're very into this. Second, we're going to be talking about our update on the current draft that we did with Taryn and Nate. And lastly, we'll be talking about Game of the Decade, but we will be talking about not 1 year, but 2 years, 2012 and 2013 at the end of this episode. This is Bitcade. Let's get into it. Ashton, now you can talk about what is going on with the whole PlayStation and Xbox battle that's happening for our love and affection.
Well,
like two divorced parents trying to fight for love.
Jesus.
Oh, they got too real.
As probably all of you have seen, PlayStation just released their pictures of the PlayStation 5 controller and some of the features on it. It's this two-tone black and white kind of controller where it just looks it looks weird. It's kind of a cross between almost like an Xbox controller and like a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. That's like the best way I can put it. And yeah, I think like what they're trying to go for here is going to be more of like the futuristic kind of standout-ish look, which would be interesting to see if their console kind of follows suit. That'd be kind of sweet to see a two-tone console, in my opinion. Just a little stick out a little bit more for me personally. Mm-hmm. But I guess like the main things to be excited about the controller is like the new features that it has. Like for example, the one that I'm most excited about is the haptic vibration, like what you'll have in like your phone and almost kind of like the Switch. Basically, if you or pushing down the trigger when you're pulling back a bow with an arrow and you're going to shoot something like in The Last of Us 2, you're going to feel vibration kind of change the more you pull it back, according to Sony. Don't know how often that'll be used because, again, that's like a very specific situation you're going to be in. Also, you're going to feel different types of vibration for different terrain that you're on. And so in the sticks there, when you're running through like mud, it's going to feel different than if you're running through like snow or sand or grass. It's the vibration is going to change. I'm assuming they just have it set for like these different profiles. They just kind of tag them instead of just a generalized vibration that we all have now on console. So I mean that's the most notable changes, and then they also have a mic built into the controller, which is probably gonna be shit. So
Yeah, I can't even imagine like if I couldn't freaking stand a Kinect microphone, you think I'm gonna like a microphone that's built into a
yeah,
controller?
and the thing is too is that they're not even they're not even really touting it off as like a really special feature either. Like they put a lot of work into it. They're like, yeah, it's gonna be great for if you want to say something really quick to your team, and you know, and then be done with it. But if you're gonna be talking on there, you probably want to use a headset. I'm like, okay,
Oh
then
yeah,
just use
yeah,
your
yeah.
fucking headset. Why did you guys waste money on this? Come on.
Now, do you see that the L2 and R2 buttons use adaptive triggers so players can quote truly feel the tension of your actions like when drawing a bow or to shoot an arrow, which is what you were saying, but it's like the button itself is completely different. It's a lot more thicker than the DualShock 4
Yeah,
and 3 were. Like cuz with
but
the
my issue with their triggers though is that they're still curved down. So like your
The
fingers
L2
gonna
and I mean, sorry, the L1 and R1 buttons look weird. They look like thick, like pieces of plastic, like you'd see on like some
yeah. So
bootleg China controller. Like here,
yeah, and it's why I feel it's really similar looking to the Switch Pro controller because they're I'm gonna be honest, their buttons are very cheaply
oh
made.
yeah, yeah.
You can tell like the material is not good material. Like versus like the Sony and the traditional Sony and Xbox controllers, they're actually pretty decent quality in terms of like all the buttons. Um, but like I don't even know what's going on with that D-pad. I don't. It's like it doesn't jut out like hardly at all for like any of the buttons on the controller on the
It
face of
looks
the
like a
controller.
PS Vita gamepad, which was
Yeah,
terribly
it's really,
small. So I'm assuming it's not that small, but
it
the
almost feels
Vita
like it's like
gamepad was.
set to almost be flush with the face of the controller. Like
That's how the
they
Vita
don't.
was.
It's really interesting. I am curious. I gotta find someone who's gonna get it day one, and I want to get my hands on.
Nate probably will get it.
Yeah, he is a Sony fan. Yeah.
Well, because he plays all of his Xbox games on PC.
Yeah.
They are going to USB-C. So
Yeah. Same with the Xbox.
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, they made the announcement.
It was a needed thing. They should have done it last gen. Both companies should have done it last gen. But I guess it's cheaper now than it was back then. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's cool. They still have that weird light thing that's just on the front of the controller now instead of the back. I still don't really see the point of having that, but that's just me. It does look cool for the aesthetic more on this controller than it did the PS4, though. I will say that because it looks pretty sweet. And actually, if you go on Twitter, IGN just posted people basically making recolors of.
I did see the Super Mario one.
Oh, dude, you got to see the God of War one. That one's fucking sick. It's like a
Okay.
white and maroon, and then the PlayStation logo at the bottom is like fucking like this bright blue. It just everything pops on it. It's fucking clean.
Oh,
If they came
okay.
out with
They
that,
posted a video.
oh
Oh, the Spider-Man one though.
yeah. So people are.
Okay,
That's
they
the
got the
thing.
Last of
People
Us
are going
one,
through and
God of
making
War one, yeah.
reskins basically of it.
But
you check
they'll
out
never
IGN.
do this.
No, well, no, they're not gonna take ideas. Now they should though, because Xbox, I'm sure, is making a decent amount of money off of their Xbox Design Lab,
Mm-hmm.
where you get to basically make your own controller. You can usually most times you can find a deal where you can get it engraved for free, which is only $5 anyway. So I mean, I don't know. I could see them making a lot of money. They're not really over the years. They haven't been really into like the themed controllers or like different colors, other than like PlayStation 4 had a few camo controllers, couple different recolors, but nothing too crazy. A couple ones that have the metallic finish on them, but nothing that nothing in comparison to like how Xbox has it. Like Sea of Thieves controller, fucking one of a kind. You never see a controller like this anywhere else.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, having the ability to, have your shit stand out, it's that weird effect that you see in a lot of gamers on PC as well, where they have the whole RGB setup. Hey, look at me, I'm a fucking gamer. Come 1v1 me, kid. Come 1v1 me. You got lights? You got lights? Huh? Yeah, you're trash. Trash. These rainbow lights make my gameplay that much better.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you this comparison list here, Ashton, through text, so that you can kind of take charge of this comparing thing. And then as you're kind of reading that, let me know when you get it. IGN made this full-on chart that has the PS5, Xbox Series X comparison from everything that they have here. Pretty much like the basic features to super extreme features. And since we're talking about controllers, I'll talk about that for right now while you kind of go down the list of things that you want to talk about on the high-tech specs. But
are we talking about the consoles or the controllers?
Yeah, I'll talk about the controllers to kind of keep us in this and segue into the comparison chart so that you can pull out some big information there. But right now, as of beginning of April, this is all the information that we have so far of 2020. That we were just talking about the controllers. PS5 is now called the DualSense, is not a DualShock anymore. They took that away. So we don't know what DualSense means yet.
Well, the DualSense,
other than this like vibration thing. Is that what we're going off of?
That's basically what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's basically what it is, because it's getting your senses more in line with the immersive environments. So that way you can feel the grass, you can feel the pulling back on the string of the bow.
Yeah,
you can feel all that stuff independent. Shock is like shoots the controller with vibration, the entire controller.
Yeah. The Xbox Series X will obviously use its own controller, but they're just calling it the Xbox Series X wireless controller, with also the Xbox One controller is compatible. Controller features are haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, built-in microphone array, which is what we've said, while the Xbox has haptic feedback, hybrid D-pad, which we've kind of seen pictures of,
had that for a while.
Dynamic latency input, Bluetooth low energy pairing.
Yeah, so basically they're using a different type of Bluetooth here, where it's basically going to update the console faster. It's going to have a higher refresh rate, for lack of a better term. So it's updating your console quicker. So I'm curious to see what the actual numbers are in terms of milliseconds of input lag. But
content sharing is the create button is the social platforms that we haven't seen yet. Who knows even where you're uploading that to, because Facebook doesn't, you can't do Facebook with PlayStation 4 right now, so we'll see what happens. And then the share button and social platforms are to be announced for Xbox as well. The share button compared to the create button. Headset compatible, yes. It is just a yes. And then the Xbox One, not the Xbox One, but the Xbox controller will actually be backwards compatible. So you can actually use Xbox One control or headsets on the Series X and Xbox One controllers.
So it's still kind of not fully understood how that's going to work, though, unless they're going to be using their
probably the 3.5
wireless.
Well,
not everybody uses the 3.5 though either, because they have that some of their newer mics like the Arctic and whatnot. The Steel Series, they run off of a wireless connection straight to the Xbox. I forgot what it's called, but I have a feeling they might be doing that, and a lot of they're working with a lot of headset companies to make sure that their shit's gonna work, so that way people don't have to buy new headsets, like me, because I use a SPDIF output there, optical connection for my transmitter for my Turtle Beach headset, which they will not have on the next console. So I'm curious to see how my audio's gonna be looking. I have a feeling they might end up maybe having like a to USB converter or something like that, or if you're lucky, you'll have a TV with an optical.
And most TVs do have that nowadays, so it's kind of give and take.
So. Yeah,
and most monitors have it too. Some, well, I guess higher end monitors have that.
it is an older technology, so that's why they're.
Yeah,
I
slowly
guess it's
phasing out.
becoming. It's getting phased out, unfortunately.
Controller batteries, which we did say for PlayStation, will be rechargeable. And then with the Xbox, you'll have AA batteries, or you can buy the extension pack, which is the same Xbox charge pack that's been out for ever. Well, since the Xbox One, because it's the same batteries. It's the same battery port. Charging cables, USB Type C,
USB-Cs.
and also USB Type C for the Xbox as well. So they're both USB charging cables for Type C. So when you do buy an Xbox charge pack, if you don't want to do double A's, you can charge your controller using the USB-C. So it does have that option. It's not the Xbox controller doesn't have chargeable batteries. You can do that. It's just not going to come with it.
You have to buy them separately.
And I guess that's just preference if you guys like it or not. Motion control to be announced. Both of them have not talked about motion control. PS4 definitely uses it in a lot of their games, but they might drop it maybe.
I don't know, because we're still waiting on PSVR 2. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't heard anything about that.
I think we won't hear about that until next year, in my opinion.
Probably
2021. They got to get rid of. They got to get this one out first. See if people want it. But
yeah, I guess. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about in the features guide here for the console itself? For the console itself.
For the consoles, I guess both of them are touting like a new 3D audio. For basically people who don't really know what the fuck that means. It's basically more realistic, as if like you're there, like how sound bounces off objects like echoes and stuff, and explosions and guns are going to sound more realistic as if you're actually there.
Pretty much, if you're playing Call of Duty or some sort of shooter online and you don't have headphones on, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, because people are going to abuse this.
Yes.
It's going to be an advantage to making games way more.
It is going to be an advantage. So you're going to definitely want a headset. You don't have to get the top of the line headset as long as you're able to do stereo. They haven't really talked about the surround sound too much in terms of 5.1 and 7.1. As of like how they said they're not going to talk about it. Mike Cerny for Sony specifically said we're not going to talk about that. So I don't know what the fuck that even means. I don't know what their plans are for that. Yeah, that'll be interesting. So that's basically PlayStation 5. Their selling point right now is their audio technology and their load speeds. That's pretty much what they got going for the console itself. We're not talking about exclusives. Angry fanboys in the comments, relax. Series X, they are touting just raw power, and yeah, basically that. I mean, they're saying they're going to be able to accomplish on a lot of games. Of course, it's up to the developer to include it and optimize it appropriately to work, but a lot of games are going to be able to do 4K 60 frames with ray tracing on.
Which to me, I'm still thinking that these consoles are so
beefy as fuck.
It's hard to even comprehend that, because like I still say to this day, when I saw that Hellblade trailer and they were like, this is in engine, I'm like, you're out of your goddamn mind. This does not look, this is a fucking movie. Like, there's no way that this is a game. And if the game looks like that, I mean, Hellblade, the first game, was already good. I mean, there's obviously spliced in live action that is in that game, but still, the gameplay aspect of it still is really cool looking. So, and that's like the first look that we got into an Xbox Series X first party game. Like, that's going to be a first party game made by Microsoft, and that's probably going to be our big launch game. I think that's going to be the big launch game alongside Halo, and maybe we might get Forza, but I don't know. I think if they come out with Hellblade, Forza, Halo as their three, like, here's our big AAA games, and then here's all of our little ones that kind of come around, you know, a couple months later or into the next year, I think they might have a good lineup. Like,
well, yeah, what they're saying right now is like, we're not worried about titles, you know, specifically, because you don't want all your good games to come out the gate and then have nothing for the rest of the year. So he's like, we're gonna do some nice spacing out.
That's probably game too.
are well cooked and ready to go, and it's not they're gonna go off with a hitch. I like okay, so this is why I fucking um I love Phil Spencer. He is straight up all about making sure the team has what they need to send the games out looking great, looking polished. Just like, look, I don't want to send games out. I don't want to rush them. Like, look, are you going to be able to do this time window? If not, you got to let me know. That way I don't accidentally say, yeah, this game's coming out and it's not coming out.
Yeah, because we've done that before and it doesn't work out for us.
Exactly. And he's fucking on it in terms of like transparency. He's hey, what I can tell you is what I can tell you. If I'm saying it's going to come out, it's going to come out. Doesn't matter. And he's saying that even right now, they're not going to hold the console launch back for any specific game. So like the big main selling game that's going to be releasing with the console on Game Pass is going to be Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't commented yet due to the situation. Don't say it because YouTube will pick it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's why people have been censoring themselves when they say the word. Okay. I think I may have said in the beginning I might have to bleep it.
It's like you're saying a fucking slur. And
why? It's so dumb.
I don't know.
Dumb. That's a whole different thing. Anyway, back to this. We won't talk about the bad stuff. You're here to be entertained. We're here to entertain you and give you information about cool stuff.
Fuck the website, but love us.
Yes.
All right. So basically, there is talk that some games might be pushed that we're going to be releasing around launch, but the console launch is not going to be pushed due to the games not being ready. It's just going to come out when it comes out. Now, according to Phil Spencer, they're still on track to come out holiday 2020, which we haven't gotten an update from Sony on where they're at. I believe Xbox was a little bit further ahead in the production than PlayStation was, though, because they did start earlier on the development console. So, so far they're on track, but he's not making any promises that, like dates or anything like that, because China's just now ramping up their factories and getting into work at a normal pace. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know that there have been a lot of concerns of like, will the new consoles sell out? Because will they have only a limited run of them for a while and then not have them for a specific amount of time?
Worst case, they'll probably have a limited run, and which is going to be fine anyway, because most people aren't going to be able to afford this beefy console when it first comes out anyway, with everything that's going on.
Well, the thing is, for Xbox gamers, it's fine because the Xbox has already said like all their games are going to be running on that anyway, so you can essentially pick up. And the other thing is like if you wanted to get a Series X and you wanted to play Cyberpunk, you can still play Cyberpunk on Xbox One and get a free upgrade to the Series X, which they have still not said that PlayStation will get. So I'm wondering who decided that. But
well, let's just say that Xbox is definitely more pro-consumer. Let's just say that full backwards compapability, not just like 100 games from PS4. Just saying.
Yeah. They did
Game
come
Pass
back and
is
say
the
that there
best.
is 1,000 plus games. They did say that.
1,000. They're saying 1,000 now.
Of
Okay.
top of like games from PlayStation and whatnot.
Now, you could make the argument that, you're not going to want to replay a lot of those games anyway. Sure, fine.
I still go back and play in some of the old games every once in a while.
Yeah, but most people don't.
That's probably true. Yeah, I just started playing.
I don't want to be too one-sided here because I do prefer Xbox, but
yeah,
it's Xbox legitimately has the best deal in gaming.
Yeah.
Has the best deal in gaming, period. And especially now with their free updates, for optimization, which you get on PC anyway. Because you just play on any setting you want. So it just makes sense that you shouldn't have to pay more than one time for a game, right?
You see that the Xbox One X is now like $299.
Oh yeah, that's on sale now.
I think that's its price.
I
think they've dropped it officially.
They might be dropping officially, but you see that every year. New console releases, the previous one will drop $100.
Yeah.
Because I think it started at $499 and then it ended up going down to like $450 and then $399 and now it's at $299.
Yeah. which I think is a great deal. If you don't,
yeah, it is a fantastic deal.
And now you can
It
get
can
like
be $450.
you can get Star Wars with it, NBA with it. I wouldn't get NBA because you can get that for free on Game Pass. But yeah, there's some pretty good bundles for it. All right, so
it's good.
Is there anything else that you would like to specifically talk about before we shove off?
Nope.
Okay.
We're good.
Before we end it though, price predictions.
Oh, price predictions.
Let's go. Let's start with PlayStation 5. What do you think the PlayStation 5 is going to come out to?
I think they'll come out at 400.
400, $399.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Xbox will come out at 450 or 499.
So you're thinking that? So to be more specific, though, let's say Xbox is gonna make the two consoles. All right. We haven't seen the other console, but let's say they do. You're saying that the Xbox Series X will be, was it? It would be $450. You're saying $450. Yeah. Oh, you're saying $499? You're saying $500?
Yeah. I'd say a max at $500 because the Series X was $500.
Interesting. So you're saying Xbox is going to be $100 more than a PS5?
Maybe. Now I'm saying
I don't want maybes. Also, you gotta hammer one in here.
I'm saying maybe not. Probably closer to the 450 range. And the reason I say that is because they did $100 last time and it did not work out. But their console is also way more shitty. The Xbox One, the vanilla Xbox One, was garbage compared to the PS4.
Yes,
that's a given. But
the base
as of right now, Xbox One X is the most powerful console in the market currently. So
you're saying you're locking in stone for right now for this episode. PS5, $399 and $400, and then for the Xbox Series X, you are saying $450.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about this other console? Let's say they have a third. There's the light version.
I have a feeling that it'll probably be like $250 or $300.
$250 or $300?
But not. No, $300.
$300. So you're saying Xbox is going to go $300 and $450, and then for their consoles, if they come out with a second one, and then, well, judging by the fact that they haven't talked about the second one this whole year, I don't think we're going to get a second one until next year.
No, because honestly, they're going to want to sell their big boy, so that way they can show off all that stuff. But you guys also remember that every time they sell a console, they lose money.
Now, we'll say Phil Spencer has said price is not going to be an issue.
Yeah, but they also said that I think Sony's doing this too, but there's going to be payment plans, so you just pay it monthly.
Yeah, there's that right now. They've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
So you're saying $450 Xbox, PlayStation $400, saying $50 more for a Xbox Series X.
Yeah, and I feel it's justified too.
Okay.
So
I think PlayStation's gonna come out, and they're like, we can't hit $500 if we're gonna just topple people over. We can't do it.
No.
There's just no way. So they're gonna come out at the $400 range. But I think Microsoft is gonna go cheaper, and they'll hit $350.
Oh, but man, if they do that,
I think they're gonna go $350 because I think at this point, Microsoft has gotta be like, fuck you to everybody. We'll take the loss. We'll get everyone, because Xbox isn't about. They're not about the console. They don't really give a shit about the console. Like they want to make the most
everything to like, hey, just play our games.
But
and that's what Phil keeps saying.
It's about the brand, and to take a loss on a $50 extra. I mean, that does add up. Don't get me wrong. That does add up after you sell like 1,000 plus. Yeah. But if majority of people are on your console buying your first party games or subscribing to you and paying your 16 something a month for Game Pass Ultimate and are talking about Xbox and are making that the household name, and PlayStation is slowly diminishing, Microsoft has way more money to flex. Like, they could do whatever the fuck they want because they're a bigger brand. Sony doesn't make very much money unless it is PlayStation. So like, PlayStation makes money. The rest of Sony isn't very profitable. So like, I mean, you can check their stock. Microsoft's is way higher than theirs, and it also doesn't fluctuate too drastically like PlayStation or like Sony's does. So
They got big dick money, dude.
I think Microsoft could suffer the extra $50 to come out and say, "Look, last time we came out at I think the last console was $490 or was $399, right? Can you look that up? Can you look up, because my keyboard's loud? Can you look up the Xbox One Connect bundle and how much that cost at launch? And then whatever that cost, and PlayStation came out at $100 cheaper, and with not a peripheral that was required, they were able to sneak in and go, well, we're $100 cheaper. Now, if Microsoft comes, and they took a loss, that PlayStation took the loss. They were coming out at a way cheaper price than what the actual console cost. If Microsoft comes out and says the Xbox is $350 or, God forbid, $300, which would be astronomically cheap, I would not think they were going to go below $400. But I think just to snipe, depending on if PlayStation comes out first, if PlayStation comes out and says we're $400 and Xbox comes out and we're like, we're $350 and then walks off the fucking stage, I think that will be the giant middle finger to Sony, and enough for them to possibly win the generation, because they'll be like, well, you can get the most powerful console for $50 cheaper, which is enough for a game. You just get another game. You can buy Halo with that extra money you're saving, or you can buy Game Pass with that extra money you're saving. Did you look it up?
What the fuck? I can't find it.
Oh, bummer.
It's just showing me all current prices.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? But one of the frequently asked questions on Google, does Sony own Xbox?
And those are the people that will hopefully
Gladys.
pass away in the Darwinism. But so that's what I'm saying. $350 for Xbox.
It was $100 difference. It was $100 difference.
Yeah, I know that. That was what I was saying. Yeah, but I think if Microsoft just says we're $50 cheaper, and we're the most powerful
$50
console,
cheaper and more powerful,
and you can we'll throw in a couple months of Game Pass or whatever.
Yeah,
it's over. It's over.
You know,
there's no reason to not get an Xbox. $350 is my prediction for the Xbox Series X as of April 2020, and then $400 for the PlayStation 5. That's my prediction.
Boy. I hope you're right. I would love to save some money.
Anything else you want to talk about with the console so far? Console watch, April 2020.
That's all, folks.
All right, let's move on.